All right, welcome. Hello, everybody. We had a chilly morning here in Florida. I had to scrape some ice off my windshield, so that's kind of unusual. But anyway, it warmed up, but we're going to have a chilly Christmas Eve and Christmas, so we're looking forward to that. But anyway, today we have Tracy with Tiny Building Experts with us, and she's one of the two tiny house representatives on the TAC committee in Colorado that is currently responding to a statute that was written in July of this year, mandating that Colorado figure out this tiny house thing. They're supposed to come up with the standards and the codes. They're trying to put it under something under the modular home program, but it's going to look not necessarily like a modular home program. But she has been a builder, and I think Austin the other party? Is that a husband or a partner or something?
Yes,
for a while.
Both, all the above. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about her and about what she's been doing, and then we're going to have an opportunity to check out some tiny houses and check out her shop today. So go ahead, take it away, Tracy.
Hi, you guys. My name's Tracy Manchego Baker. I'm out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, with Tiny Building Experts. I don't usually do a lot of this video stuff, but I really was trying to just take the opportunity to let me turn this around so you guys can actually start seeing some cool stuff. I really just wanted to kind of take the opportunity to get involved a little bit and answer some questions and just be supportive of our industry and our community. So I'll kind of get inside from outside for a moment. It's much noisier in the shop than it is out here right now in one of the tiny houses. So I think it's probably better if I start out here. It's a little cold though.
Well, yeah. Why don't you tell us? We'll take a look at this tiny house. Well, first of all, how long have you been building tiny houses?
Okay, so a little bit of history. I'll just give you guys hopefully like a 60-second overview here, a little bit of history. So Austin, I kind of feel like everything that Austin did in his careers kind of set him up for what he's doing now. The reason why I personally have stayed in the tiny house community, or the industry, I should say, is because of Austin. And then I developed a love for the tiny house community, and mainly the people, the tiny house customers, people that are dreaming about building a tiny house, that want a tiny house. I also learned to love on the builders along the way. Austin is kind of known as the code guy. He's not a code guy, just so everybody knows. He just is a tiny house builder. But he's super duper high quality, high integrity. He just doesn't let stuff fly, you guys. He has always built in mind with all code in mind when he builds for customers, in an effort to try to set people up for success for the future of what Colorado is getting ready to go through. So, there's things that we do in our builds right now that are really where we're meeting or exceeding IRC, or we're at least meeting IRC code. And a lot of the builds for a lot of tiny house builders out there's some great builders out there that can build their tiny houses and pretty much almost meet IRC, with the exception of a few areas that we need some help with. And so we've gotten really good over the years of understanding kind of what those differences are as a community, right? I work with other builders too, you guys. It's not just me. I work with lots of builders across the country. There's, and we all work together on writing best practices and just really trying to figure out how to get recognized for what we really do build. And I think that's kind of what Colorado is about. That's what we're starting. It's the opportunity for us to finally show that we are building to IRC in so many different areas of our build, but we need a couple of adjustments, right? And there's just a couple of areas that we need a few exceptions with, And but we can still meet all of the safety, fire, electrical, plumbing. We can still meet a vast majority of the code. We just need to, you know, get recognized for it for once. Because when we built to NFPA 1192 and we're building to RV code, but yet you're looking at framing here, I assure you, you guys, here, how do I show that? I assure you that's more than, you know, 2x4 framing going onto this house. And I'm going to take you guys into a tiny house right now, but there's more that goes into this than just 2x4 framing, you know, 16 on center or 24 on center. And we don't ever get recognized for it, right? And so when we say we're building to NFPA 1192, none of what you're sealing in that structure right there from a framing perspective gets recognized, right? Robin?
Yeah, you know, Tracy, one of the things about NFPA 1192 is it really doesn't have any structural guidelines at all. You can have a pop-up camper that has canvas walls on it, and that can be a travel trailer. Whereas these tiny houses obviously are not travel trailers. A lot of them are lived in full time, and they really do need to be built to a higher standard than NFPA 1192 or even the ANSI 119.5, which some people are using, even though they might be still less than 8'6" wide. They're still using the ANSI 119.5 because it does have a little bit of structural guidelines in that.
It does, right? But if you look at ANSI 119.52, isn't that, you know, okay, so I don't want to go into that right now as far as like the differences, but there's differences, right? Between, you know, all of them. And so I, for one, am excited because I think that we're finally going to be recognized for what we really do. And so that's, I guess, the exciting part. And so with Austin, that's just kind of who you get. And he went from a white collar sit down desk job helping people go to college to blue collar. I'm going to learn every trade there is out there. And do you guys remember a long time ago when Jay was on the cover of, was it like Time or Money Magazine? I don't remember which one it was. Okay. And it was like, showed a picture of him on the cover with the very first tiny house that he built. And I think it was the EPU model. I think it was like a little 20-footer or something.
Yeah, it was little, Austin, it was 70 square feet. It was 7 by 10.
I think it was called the EPU. I remember because it came back when I worked at Tumbleweed, because I worked at Tumbleweed for a little while. I remember it when it came back, I couldn't imagine how small, like it was small, you guys. Anyways, the long story short, Austin saw that article and he had always loved RVs. And when he saw that, he was like, I'm going to build me a tiny house one day. And then one day, not kidding you guys, he went for a job interview at this place called the Shed Yard. It's a bunch of Amish guys, super awesome brothers. There's like 6 brothers. They were amazing. And Austin went to go interview with them, and they were building chicken coops and some other things. And Austin was like, yeah, he was right down the street from our house. And then they brought him into this show, like this back area of the building, and they showed him a tiny house. And he was like, it was absolutely meant to be. And so he actually started building tiny houses with the Shed Yard guys for Tumbleweed before Tumbleweed built for themselves. Because remember, Tumbleweed used to outsource. So right. Austin's touched probably about 450 tiny houses by now for a couple of different companies, including his own. He went out on his own in, I think it was mid 2018. So 2019, 2020, 21. Yeah, he's almost at his 5-year mark.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so this is kind of where we're at now. We've been building tiny houses for, we do white label building. So we have built for other builders. We also do a lot of custom builds. And then we've actually been able to be part of a couple of really cool projects. I'll take you guys into an almost completed house here in a second, and it's for one of our nonprofits. It has a really cool story, so I'll kind of share that with you guys. But here's kind of, let me do this. Let me show you guys this house, okay? So this one's kind of cool. So this is our toy hauler, okay? This is not your regular tiny house, by the way, you guys.
Right.
This is
It
just,
has a door on
this
the
is-
back that'll fold down for a ramp.
yep. And so when we designed this one, this is Austin's baby, by the way. So this is why I'm kind of letting you guys look at his little baby. But he designed this so that way he could drive a UTV up if he wanted to. It's not standard. We've driven the four-wheeler in several times. We have dirt bikes, electric bikes, things like that. So this little section right here is about 8 feet by 8 feet of space. And then there's a storage loft right there. But right here is literally like a garage area. Okay. So anyways, in this area right here, and by the way, this is an old tumbleweed trailer on this one. This one's actually an old trailer. We build on trailer made trailers. Now this one's a fairly old unit, or old trailer, I should say, that we've had for a little while that we decided to make a model out of. So there is another loft up there. It's kind of hard to see it, but it is a queen size sleeping loft, as well as a skylight. And then, of course, anybody that knows Austin knows that he does all spray foam insulation. It's just kind of what we do. Look at he's literally not done here, you guys. So they still have.
Yeah, I see where the electric panel is there, and there's a little shelf up above that electric panel, I guess, for storage or decorations or something up there, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, he'll be able to you know put something there. I think he's gonna have a freshwater holding tank in here, or the hot water heater. I can't remember what he's putting, maybe both. I'm not sure. I know there's a pocket door that goes, oh, look at, he does have the pocket door already kind of. So there's a pocket door that's going to go here. This area right here is going to be like these stairs that go up to this loft. And then there's a ladder if you need to access that storage. But the idea behind this toy hauler is that it could be closed off. So while you have that garage door down, you could still be in your kitchen kind of privately. So you could kind of like prepare, like if you're out camping. This is my glamper, by the way. This is not like I live in this tiny house. This is like my glamper. Okay. So right here, I have my oven. Then I have my sink that goes right here. I just have like countertop throughout here. And then I have a refrigerator that goes right here. So this is all kind of kitchen space right here. What you guys
let me ask you,
the
Tracy, how long is that trailer overall? Do you know?
24 feet. This is 24 feet by 8 feet. So this kitchen, so check this out. Do you remember the other day when we were talking about like bathrooms? And I was like, oh no, we don't need, no, yeah, you know, so this one wasn't designed as an RV, right? And so when I think about this one, look at this bathroom. So this is where the toilet goes. It's actually an RV flush toilet that sits right here. Okay. And then we have that corner bathroom sink that goes right here, and a corner bathroom vanity that goes right here. So look at this space.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
Yeah, but it works great.
Is it 36 inches, you think? How big is your shower? 32 or 36?
32.
So that must be a 30.
I said the smallest we usually go will be 32, right? And so I said, 36 if we can get them, but this is 32, right? Let me stand in the shower.
So that's got to be a 36-inch wide space there where the toilet and the sink is going.
Right. But do you see? So I take back what I said about bathroom fixtures and clearances, because look at that. Oops.
Right. Right.
And so I was talking to Sam the other day, and I told him that I'm like, I have to retract what I said.
Well, we need to work on clearances on tiny houses and in the bathrooms. I mean, that's definitely an area where they're open to talk about, find out what the clearances are in IRC, and then see if they'll work. I know I think in IRC the 30 inches is the smallest you can put a toilet, because it's 15 inches on either side.
Right.
So with that 6 inches, with that vanity, corner vanity in there, that's going to pretty much infringe upon your 30 inches for your toilet.
It totally is.
Yeah.
But it's one of those little corner ones that's even off the floor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's like we use a lot of those wall sinks when we're doing super small bathrooms like this.
Right. Where do you
So
get those from?
you can get them online from almost anywhere, you guys. They're really
Okay.
inexpensive,
Right.
super duper inexpensive. So this is, I told you guys this is Austin's baby. I usually don't show everybody his baby. You know how like he doesn't like it to be undone, right? You don't, all the trim work's not done. Like, but it's still pretty. But he's got cedar going on in here. When we go into the other tiny houses, you're going to see pine over in the other house. But I love cedar. I love the way it smells. And this is natural cedar.
Right.
I think it's a 1x6. It's got a 5 something reveal. But it's a tongue and groove. It's pretty.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
We
Good
cover
job.
all the floors, you guys, at the tiny house shop while we're working. So that floor is already installed. It's pretty. I can show you what it looks like, but you guys see what it looks like. But we put down the stuff because we don't want anybody to mess up the floors, right? So you see a
Makes
lot of
sense.
that in the tiny house shop.
And I see your wheel wells there. Are they, if this is a
Crazy.
tumbleweed trailer, they're
It's an
pretty
old
wide.
one, man. Dude,
Yeah,
it's horrible. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but this particular trailer is an old trailer. And the wheel wells are crazy compared to what I'm used to. So the trailer-made trailer protrudes 2 inches. I'll show you guys that here in a minute. This is a little bit of an older one. We've had it around for a little while. Austin bought it to do this model on it. So he's got some plans for it. Like, he's got this built-in couch that goes over here, you guys, that actually folds out into like a futon bed. So he's got this whole built-in that covers that wheel well that offers him storage underneath. So he's got some stuff going on. And then honestly, you guys, he got a smoking hot deal on the trailer. Let me just back up.
Of course, that's usually the one you build your house on, is the one you got the great deal.
And this is his Glamper model, right? So it's a total toy hauler. It's to go play with. People always ask, and I hear about it from like some trailer made people too. Other people have done toy haulers as well in tiny houses, guys. So I just wanted to show you that literally I've got a bathroom and a kitchen in 8 feet by 8 feet. I've got some stairs and seating in 8 feet by 8 feet. And then I've got a garage down there in 8 feet by 8 feet.
Yeah, and you got a loft up above. 2 lofts.
I have 2.
Storage
I
loft.
do. So you shouldn't really sleep in that one because it doesn't have an egress window. I would have had to put do you remember when you guys were talking about this the other day? You brought it up, I think, Robin, or somebody did. I would have had to put an egress skylight in here. And Austin does not like to do operable skylights. The skylight you see right here in his loft is non-operable. That one, it's a non-operable skylight. And right. I can tell you right now that Velux would honor the warranty for it because we did reach a minimum of the roof pitch for the necessary for warranty, but we've never had a problem with the non-operables. So operable ones are more prone to leak because there's, opportunity for water intrusion.
Absolutely.
Okay,
all
so
right.
I'm gonna go out into the tiny house shop. Oh, look at there's.
Let's go check out the shop. Yeah.
Look.
See some more spray foam there.
Yep. And so you see, they still have finished work to do.
Yep. It's coming along though, Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah, that one. This one is pretty good. Let me go take you guys. So Advantech, you guys are all familiar with this. This is 3/4 inch tongue and groove. They just delivered that today.
Oh, okay. That trailer that you have out there, is that a trailer you're going to put a house on, or is that a hauler trailer that you have outside? Oh, that's
So
just,
that is actually just for the four-wheeler, and we go get materials sometimes. But this
okay.
one right here is a 16-foot trailer made.
Okay.
I have a Pike model. It's 16 feet by 8 feet. It's already been spray foam and decked. And since I have it sitting outside, Austin doesn't like any weather exposure, even though that flooring has a lifetime warranty on it. If you're going to be outside and not working on it for a little while, he likes to keep his stuff nice, right?
I
So
agree. I agree with him there. I
that's
agree
just
with him
Austin.
there.
Yep.
So do you have, I see 1, 2 doors. Is that 2 bays that you have in there? Oh,
In
no,
this,
it's,
correct.
okay. All right. So you got something framing
hi,
up
guys.
right there. How big is that trailer there?
So this is a 24-foot by 8-foot. Everything you see at my shop today is 24 feet, except for that little 16 I just showed you.
Okay. All right. Is that one going to have a loft also?
It's going to look like this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
it'll look like this, but it's not a sleeping loft. It's just a storage loft, and I'll show you why. You'll see in a second. Okay, so this house is not done yet, but it's almost done. It's got a few finishing. I think we're waiting on the condenser to show up for the mini split. For the mini split. And then their shut off box goes here. You'll see here, guys, this is just your standard 50 amp RV hookup, right?
Right.
Everybody's familiar. And then just your regular city water,
Well,
right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I don't see the, oh, I know why there's no wastegate on this one. This one's getting connected directly. So normally, if this were gonna go into an RV park, you'd see the wastegate either right here or you'd see it right here. It's either right before the axles or right after. And
Right.
your plumbing would come out in a wastegate. But this tiny house is getting plumbed. Their plumbing is in the ground already. So we had a plumbing company and a utility company come and run it at the tiny house community. This house is going into a tiny house community. So that's going to be the dryer vent for the dryer, right?
Okay.
Vented dryer.
Is that LP smart siding that you have on the lap board, or is it Hardy panel?
No, so this is going to be an engineered LP siding. It's called Diamond Coat. It has the color baked in. I'm going to go in here and try to turn off this radio. Hold on. Sorry, you guys. All righty. Sorry about that. Okay. They were working in here before I got in here. Okay. So here's the door. They painted it. It matches. It's upside down. I
Right.
don't know why, but anyways, it matches the metal standing seam roof. If you guys could see the material on the roof.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that all
Nice.
matches, but yeah, it's an engineered LP siding. So the color's actually baked in. So they actually offer you a 30-year warranty on this stuff, meaning if anything goes wrong with it in the first 5 years, they'll even pay for the labor to fix it.
Good. That's
So
good
it's
stuff.
really good siding. And out here in Colorado, the sun has a tendency to beat us up out here. Okay, so anything like that is totally good stuff. So this house is called Omega. Let me just tell you guys this. This is the smallest tiny house I've ever designed. Multiple iterations of design that will give you 24 feet by 8 feet with a main level bed, a closet, and a stackable washer and dryer.
That's
Not all
amazing.
on the counter.
Yep.
If it was all in one under counter, this floor plan would look different. But because we had to have the stackable washer and dryer, just too much bad feedback on the all-in-one for people that are doing full-time living. For some people, they seem to accept the all-in-one combo. But for this particular customer, she will not do it. She
I like,
wants her
I
stackable.
understand that too. You know, I like the apartment size stackable. I like that as opposed to the all-in-one for the drying purposes. Is that a hot water heater, 25 gallon or something right there that I'm looking at?
You are, it's like actually, what, how many gallons is that hot water heater? Is it 18 or 28? I don't remember.
Something like that.
It's either 18 or
Yeah.
28.
But it's an electric hot water heater. Is it 110 or 240?
No, so this is going to be a 240. And so what we look for in water heaters is as long as it can be installed in a mobile unit, meaning it doesn't have a warning in the install spec saying it cannot be on a mobile unit. So if it's ANSI approved, usually we'll use like an electric kind of water heater that we can do that way. There's also another one for RVs that we like to use a lot.
Mm-hmm.
These houses are these are the ones that are going in the nonprofit community downtown. And so they're not really traveling. So we just got a mobile compliant hot water heater. As you can see, they have the head of the mini split installed here in this bedroom. So this is a very small bedroom. Okay.
How big is it?
It fits a full size bed and maybe some walkway here.
So it's got to be 7'4" wide because, or no, yeah, 7'4" wide, and then maybe 8 feet deep. Would you say?
I think we're 7'7" wide and at least 8 deep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And that'll fit a full size bed or even a queen maybe.
Yep. So, oops, did I hang up on you guys?
No, we're still here.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
19,240 single phase.
Is it 19 gallons?
Yep, 19,240
Oh, it was a 19 gallon
single phase.
All right.
single phase. So, so remember when I told you outside, you asked if it had a loft, Robin?
Single phase
And I was
means it's
like-
110, doesn't it?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Single phase means that it's 110.
No,
Two phases,
no,
240,
that's a
I believe.
240. No,
Is
that's a
it? Oh, okay.
240.
Okay.
That's a 240. What was I gonna say? So this looks like a loft up here on the outside, Robin. But
Right.
really, what we're doing is we cap the bathroom. And so they can use it as storage up there, but it's not a sleeping loft. This is their bedroom.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and then
And
they have a
that-
pocket door here, but I see that they have it shimmed, so I don't want to unshim this.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Otherwise,
Can
I
you
would do
measure
this
that
pocket
window,
because they
the
might get mad at
clear
me.
opening of, can you measure the clear opening of that window? Get one of your guys to
Yes.
measure that. I'd be interested.
Yes, I can. I think it's like 30. I think it's either 30 or 32. But I don't think this has that breakaway handle. So do you remember when we were talking about like how?
Well, that was an awning. That was an awning window that had to break away, but that's okay. What you see right there is okay. The problem with the casement window is as you crank it in, the right hand where the hinge is comes into the open space. With an egress hinge, it just hinges out. It doesn't come into that space. So there's an egress hinge window, but
There
you
is.
still, you still look like that's a lot of space. I mean, it wouldn't fit
Yeah,
to a
because I think
loft.
this is a 32 by 36 is what I
Yeah.
think it is. That's
Yeah,
why it looks
yeah.
so big.
yeah, I'd like to know the size of that. I mean, a 32 wouldn't, to get in a loft, to get a 24-inch high window is about all you know, really going to get with a header and everything. But I'd be interested to know what size that clear opening was
20
on that window.
Yep, I can get it for you. This is a 32 shower,
right?
just standard.
Yep,
And then
nice
I want to
shower.
show you the toilet. I really want to show you the toilet in here.
Uh-oh,
So here's a closet. It's just a regular closet, nothing special.
right. That's not bad for a 24-foot space, you know, to have that big of a closet.
Right? I know. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. Okay, so look at this space here, okay? You see this space?
Yep,
Okay, so is this like crazy? I hate to do this. I'm doing this on TV here. I'm literally sitting here. How do I show this?
how
This
much
is
your
crazy.
knees, how far are your knees away from the, from the vanity? That's what we want to see, yeah. You got
Look at
space
this.
there.
Look at this.
Yep,
And
you're
I'm not even
fine.
sitting, I'm not even sitting on the potty correctly. I'm sitting forward. But do you understand what I'm saying? Look at this. This is
Yeah,
me stretching.
yeah, yeah.
So, but here's the thing though, Robin, that's on this house, right? I'm more worried about the side. Look at, I'm
You
totally
got,
comfortable.
yeah, you're supposed to have 15 inches from the center of the toilet to the wall. I don't know if
Well,
you
I
have that.
will. I think I'll have that. Look at that.
15 inches, it'll be close. It looks pretty good.
It's gonna be pretty darn close. But that's also because of the wheel wells right here.
Right, right.
This is,
Yeah,
that's wheel well. The wall's right here.
yeah. Maybe with the
So
wheel well, you don't have it, but with the wall you do. And I don't know that, I don't know how they measure. They usually measure from the toilet flange, center of the toilet flange over. But center of the toilet, you might have 15, but center of the toilet flange over, you might have 12.
listen, I'm not a tiny person. You guys saw me sitting on the potty. There's plenty of room. Now, this particular house has a lot of room here. I mean, this is
Yeah.
a ton of room in this bathroom. It's got the built-in medicine cabinet, a nice little vanity.
That is nice. You got your P-trap in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look it. There you go.
Do you have a vent or an air admittance valve on this one anywhere?
Yes. You mean a VTR, a vent through roof?
Either vent to roof or air
Yes.
admittance valve, like a Studevent.
Probably both, knowing Austin. But yes, there's a VTR right here. Right here, look.
Okay, there it is. Okay, so he
And I have
vents.
pictures. I have pictures before this got closed up. And then you'll see the roof vent on the outside. But that's
Okay.
it right there.
Okay, all right. That's cool. That's cool. One of the things that our
This
guys
bathroom
have
is
been
kick
I've been
butt.
really pushing against is the wastewater for the washing machine. We have seen some people putting S traps in there, and they were using 1.5-inch lines instead of 2-inch lines. And so I don't know what you have there, but in our world, we have increased it to 2-inch line in the drain line for your washer and your, well, I mean your washer. So can you point under? Yeah, there you go. That would, oh, there's a Studevent. There's an air admittance valve. That may not
So
be
let me,
legal.
why?
I just talked to a building code official. Remember the Alachua County that I told you that they were after this guy trying to work with him? He just told me that Studevents for some reason aren't legal for washing machines. And we've been using them all along. I said, well, that's the first I've heard of it, so I'm going to check it out.
Well, I don't think anybody said anything on that, but I want to bring it up to Austin. Austin,
Well, I just heard about it 2 hours ago,
Austin.
you know?
So there's a little trick that Austin does. Do you see this?
Yes.
Because where do I live? I live in Colorado.
So you don't want it to freeze
So I don't put it where?
on the outside wall.
Right. So where is it at for me?
That makes
Right
sense.
there.
That works for me.
So
Yeah.
for you to tell me that his little concoction that he's so professional at, I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Well, I just found out about it myself. I didn't
teasing.
know it.
I'm teasing. We always have something to learn. So that I'll tell you. Hey, Austin.
You can talk to him about it afterwards. It's not a big deal. I would like to
Oh,
know the
no.
size of that window though, if he's got a measuring
I'll-
tape.
I will definitely work on that for you. Hey, come answer this question about this student event thingy.
Student.
Yeah, please. It's ask an expert. I know enough to be dangerous.
Hey, Austin, this is Robin. How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing?
Good. How are you
Hey,
doing?
I just talked with a building code official in Alachua County, and he told 2 hours ago, he said, you're not allowed to use student events in for your washing machine. And I'm like, I've never heard that. We've been putting them in all along. So have you ever heard anything like that? He says it has to be a direct vent.
Hmm.
No?
Well, so that's a good question. That's something to probably worthy of looking into. So I've got one on my washer box, but it's not as the sole vent. I've got two VTRs in this house. I've got one that's directly for the bathroom, and then I've got
Right.
one for this kitchen setup.
Right.
So the way the plumbing gets hooked up is when the water goes down the P-trap for the mixture box, the washer box, when that water gets past the P-trap and it gets into the sanitary system, this VTR is connected to it, and it's not even maybe 2 feet apart. You know what I mean? I
Right.
know there's rules of thumb in regards to how far away a VTR, barometric vent, whatever you want to call it, can be. So what we're within the tolerance on that. I simply will always, at a minimum, put in a Studer vent because without it, you're gonna see. So as you can see, I built a pony wall, and based
Yeah.
off of my height, it's just too much pressure of water, right? Spraying. So if I don't
Right.
have any way to alleviate that because past the P-trap, all that water spews back out. So mine's really just to alleviate pressure, not necessarily to vent. And I'm banking on my VTR that's right here. That's what this is. The VTR goes straight up right here. I'm banking on that when the sanitary system underneath the trailer is hooked up correctly. That's where it's venting out in regards to the, to that. But I don't know how we would get away from this. I mean, are we, at that point, we would want to ask the question, are you saying that we need to put VTRs in for washer boxes now,
I don't know. That's just what I heard 2 hours ago. So we're going to investigate it too and find out. But
Let us know what you find out, Robert.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we're always
because I think-
finding out more stuff as we go along here. And
Yeah.
this guy's he's a plumbing and mechanical ICC licensed inspector, and that's what he told me. And I said, well,
Mhm.
that's news to me, but I'll certainly check it out.
Yeah, and I'd want to know, is he talking about, are you using like the VTR standalone? Like, is that the only vent that there is with, in that system?
Right.
But
Right.
I mean, in order for that water not to blast back out past that P-trap back up, it's got to have somewhere for that pressure to go immediately. And I understand, they're saying hook it up to a vent, but I mean, you can only put so many VTRs in a house, you know what I mean? In a tiny home.
We already got
Right.
two in this one in 24 feet.
Yeah.
And that's really overkill sometimes. We only require one vent to the
The only
outside.
reason the only reason that this house has two is the axles. I got a kitchen on one side of the axles and I got a kitchen on the other side. So unfortunately,
Bathroom.
a bathroom on the other side of the axle. So unfortunately, this house originally, when it was designed with two
These units they had two wastegates on them.
yeah, they were designed with two wastegates.
And then
Okay.
because they're staying put at the tiny house village, they're all actually being tied into plumbing.
Yeah.
So they ended up cutting off the wastegate. So There's a difference when you're building a tiny house to travel in, like an RV or RV hookups versus when you're gonna put it somewhere and it's kind of getting more permanently hooked up.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not every day. I'm with you on that. It's not every day that I would do two. It's twice the work, twice the plumbing, twice the pipe, twice the labor. But I kind of got myself in a situation here because they were pretty hell bent on keeping the house and I mean the kitchen and the bathroom separated to a point where the axles are in the middle. I mean, a
Right.
lot of times you can float something, but in this situation, I kind of had my hands tied and they were telling us, you know, that I don't think it was 100% required for the two BTRs, but they say that there's a chance it's coming. So I just started doing it.
No, that's cool. That's nothing wrong with that. And we also, there is a rule where you can put instead of putting it through the roof, you can put it out the sidewall too. Your
So
event.
that's where we could definitely spend some energy talking to each other because in NFP 1192 it shuns it, but there's reasons for why. It's been so long since I've been down that rabbit hole that I need to revisit it because yeah, you find yourself in situations where if you don't vent out the side, you're not venting through the roof, you know.
Mhm.
And there could be many reasons for that. I typically hate drilling through the top plates. You know what I mean? You create weak spots, you know, and
Yep.
in a
Yep.
tiny home, it's a big deal because you're doing 2x4 framing. You're not using 2x6s. So
Right.
Hey, what is our micro lamb? What is our,
it's when I glue two of them together, they're 1.75 inches by 7 1/4. So when you glue them together and shoot them, it's a 4x8.
4x8? Okay, thank you. Sorry. I said it wrong the other day.
It's overrated. It's overkill. Most people don't like doing it. I don't know. I've been guilty of overdoing it, overbuilding, but I'd rather that than have a problem.
Well, what they're talking about, guys, is the microlam is a ridge. On the ridge of this house, there's two microlam beams running down from the door right over top of that door, all the way through. Probably goes all the way through the house.
Actually, I built a girder.
Let's go to the other.
So long story short, where a 412 pitch stops and a 1012 pitch begins, I
Right.
place a girder, which is very similar to a truss, but
Yeah.
really, really overbuilt. So I've got a under 14-foot piece on one side and about a 10.5, 10-foot 6-inch piece on the other side of that girder.
So the span is about 10'6" over there and 14
Yeah.
foot the other direction.
Yeah,
So
because
basically
if I'm not mistaken, you can't span a 4x8 further than 14 feet without some form of support.
Correct. Yeah. Basically what happens, guys, is see how he's got that, whatever that pitch is. What is that pitch there?
This is a 10-12
10-12,
and then that's a 412.
10-12 and a 412.
So you got a 10-12 pitch, which is okay. 10-12 is a whole lot better than a 412. But when the 412 pitch, if you push weight down from the ridge down on it, you could spread those walls out unless you really support that beam or you put some kind of cross members, what they call
ties.
collar ties or rafter ties or something like that in there. But he does away with the rafter ties by putting in a double glue lam beam to span that 14 foot.
Mhm.
And it doesn't take too much out of the ceiling height in the loft because what did you say? It was 7 inches, 7.5?
Yeah, it's 7 1/4 and 3.5 inches of that is within the roof, the rafters.
Right. 2x4
So really, it
rafters. Yeah.
sticks down about 3 inches.
Yeah.
Now
Nice.
this roof right here, this house specifically, there's 18 of them. They sit about 6 inches lower than your standard tiny house at 13.6 would, and that's why we ended up with a 10-12 pitch versus a 12-12. I didn't change the height of the walls, but the house it's shrunk by 6 inches because where they're going, they're not sleeping in these lofts. I didn't want to fight getting them out the door.
Right. So this one ends up 13 foot overall height?
Yep.
A little
Yep.
over.
No, about 13 foot, maybe 13.1 with the ridge cap.
And what is your deck height on your trailer or your first finished floor? Is that 22 inches?
24 inches from the ground to the top of the deck of the trailer.
Yeah, 24 inches to the top of your decking. Yep.
Okay.
So
Some drop axles you can get 22 out of.
Yeah, the
Well,
problem with drop axle, and everyone's different, right? And that's okay. I just drop axles typically don't hold 12,000 pounds.
yeah, they fail because of weight. We don't use drop
And
axles.
because of how
Okay.
we build so traditionally, these houses weigh about 12,000 pounds.
And just so you know, Noah or Robin, Trailer Made doesn't do drop axles because it's not a matter of if they'll fail. It's more of a matter of when
Well,
they'll
and
fail.
you have less clearance, which means a guy like me, this thing right here, doesn't fit under that trailer very well when you're plumbing.
Do you have a measuring tape on you, Austin?
Yeah, I'll grab one.
Well, I mean, all in all, everything, can you measure that window, the clear opening of that bedroom window? I'm curious to see what the length and the width of the clear
Say
opening
it
is.
again.
on it.
I didn't hear any of that. What's that now?
The clear opening on the bedroom window, when you
He
open it
wants
up,
to see.
length and the width, how big is it? I just want to see if it would meet IRC, I'm hoping. I know it'll meet,
I don't think it's gonna meet.
What do
IRC.
you want it to be?
I want it to be 5.7 square feet total overall. So what do you
hold
have?
on.
I got 28 by 28.
Clear opening? 28 by 28. No, not quite. That's 784 square feet, and what we're looking to get is 820 to meet IRC. So that one wouldn't do it. You have to go a little bit bigger.
So have you guys established in the window world what that size is?
That's what Robin was talking about the other day.
Are we saying like 36 by 30? Is that kind of what I'm hearing versus 30 by 30? You want that extra?
Well, what
6
we're trying to
inches?
do is figure out what we can do in a loft to meet the requirements, and
Yeah.
we may have to go smaller than the 5.7 square feet. We might have to go to 4.0.
Tell him about the loft window.
Yeah, that's where we get into a pickle. So down low, I can understand the window size getting bigger. Now, from my experience, NFP 1192, it gave you inches on what your width had to be in regards to your clearance on how wide the window was and how tall, and the sill height. What was the sill height? And if the sill height was a certain height, you had to have something to stand on that could support 300 pounds.
Pounds. Yep.
With all that
Well,
said, go ahead.
it's 17 tall, 24 wide.
Yes.
In-
So
in the le-
we need that.
No, I know,
You
but
meet
we're not
that.
talking about for what this was built to. We're talking about when we move to IRC, what
Right.
would this window have to be?
IRC makes it really challenging because here's why. When you have 13'6" and you're already 2 feet off the ground, you have 11'6". So where we run into a huge problem is that window, that size window that we want up here in the loft needs a header. I mean, if
Yeah.
we're really gonna nail it out, right? And if
Right.
that window's 3 feet wide because it needs to open up at a certain width, you cannot fit a 2x6 header up there with 2 top plates.
Unless you do that long one.
The only place that you're gonna fit that window, because I've been down this road, is right here on this end wall. This
On the
is the
gable
only
end.
place this is the only place you're really gonna get that window put in there, where you're gonna get the height you want,
Plus the loft
plus
height.
plus clear your mattress, and not have your mattress blocking the window, right? Because that's
Right.
another problem. If you get such a big window where it sits on the ground and it sits up high, but now your mattress is 8 to 10 inches into that window. So that was always my problem. Is let's not keep this. Let's do it the right way. In my experience, I've been doing about 8 or 10 years. 78 inches is the highest you can make underneath a loft to maximize your height up above the loft at 44 inches.
Okay.
So in a perfect world, you've got about 44 inches of space and now that's in your
Gable.
gable though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not your sidewalls. Your
Right.
sidewalls at best might be 34 inches tall. And again, I'm talking kind of off the loft to where that transition is to the rafters, to your roof pitch. So that's always been like the elephant in the room, right? You know, how do you, again, that's making a loft a bedroom is very complicated, right? It's not a bedroom. It really isn't. I know people like to sleep up there and we want to give them an exit. Another way we've done the exits are skylights, but you give them a skylight, they got to have a way to get up the roof.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
gotta
You got to have a rope ladder and
You
everything.
gotta have a ladder.
Yeah, you got to, and honestly, I think that anybody buying something like that should test it. It is scary.
Yeah.
But when there's a fire, you know, you've got some motivation. So
Yeah.
I mean, I like to hit it right on, you know, and talk about all of it.
So the reason why Robin's bringing it up, Austin, is because we are talking about that roof side, that window in the
It's
loft.
only going here. That's really. the
Or if it's a shed pitch and it's on the high side
Fair
wall.
enough. Okay,
Okay.
fair enough. But
Okay.
what's your roof pitch? Because in Colorado,
Yeah,
I don't know what Colorado,
I think it's a minimum of a 312.
no, you're
No.
talking skylights. You're
Oh.
thinking of a skylight. A skylight
Yeah.
says at a minimum of
Okay, okay,
312.
okay, okay, okay.
But like Wyoming is a 7 pitch, right? So you run into all sorts of issues. I just, in my experience, this wall right here usually works out really well, which really forces your loft to sit in a certain spot, which really forces a certain floor plan.
So what was this window shy for IRC? Like 2 inches? It was 28 and we
I think
needed
it
a
needs to
30?
be- I think it needs to be a 36 by 32 or a 36 by 30 to hit that square
It
footage.
was 28 wide or 28
Well,
high.
Well, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
It's the window itself is like 28 and a half almost. But if I measure this little plastic stuff right here,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the frame.
Yeah.
it's actually 25 by 25 and a quarter.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
No,
actually a
that's,
little bit narrower than that.
yeah. No,
If
it would
you
have to be
count the-
greatly enlarged. Yeah.
So you
25
gotta
and a
go back to
quarter.
36 inch windows forever.
Yeah.
No, you have to.
Yeah,
That's just the only way you're gonna get that.
yeah, yeah.
Which makes the windows sit down lower, which achieves the heights.
Yeah.
So we've had this stuff locked in for a long time, and then we started doing these homes, these charity homes, and you know, people like to save money wherever they can, and they chose to save it in the windows. And well,
Just with smaller windows. Austin's basically saying, Tracy, make sure when you order my windows, they're always ordered at what?
36 inches on height. Yeah, as long as they're 36 inches tall.
Yeah.
At a minimum, we're always ordering, 30-inch windows
Right.
typically.
Right.
And what's the math on 36 by 30?
It means.
Well, if you've got 20, what'd you say, 24? What was the width?
It's 25 inches one way by 25 and a quarter. Just say 25 by 25. It's a little bigger
All
than
right.
that, but
All right. So if you got 25, 820 divided by 25 means you got to have 33 inches in clear opening width. But you got to measure see how that casement comes into the opening some? You have to measure to the window itself, not,
so you're
yeah, right
saying-
to that.
are you you're saying this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is right there.
Now, what's that 17 and a half inch number we're talking? Is that currently what we're building to right now?
No, it's 24 is currently 24 by 17 tall.
Here's how you achieve that. You have to snap this.
Yeah, so they have this hardware that you are supposed to get, so that way you can meet that when you do those. I know.
Oh, yeah, it's a breakaway
You
breakaway
just get the
hardware.
breakaway hardware, but even at that, like, there's gotta be, like, I wanna get it to the point where, like you said, we just go to the
Well,
36.
you got us with this house, and we always.
Well,
knew
this
was gonna be an
isn't, but
issue.
this isn't an IRC house
I
either.
know,
I'm not
but
worried about
all of
that.
our other windows are,
No, I know,
and,
but
and we order egress windows.
I know.
Which is just a push, opens up at a 90,
I
and
know.
that whole opening is open.
I know.
You don't have any of this going on.
Yeah, I know. This one.
All right, guys, hey, we're running out of time here. Could we take a quick look at how you have your shop set up? And then we're going to kind of wind things down.
So
If we could do
we're-
that, Tracy?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you guys a quick little tour. We're moving out of this shop, so it's kind of a mess right now. It's probably not the most ideal kind of setup.
Well, just the issue is we're just finishing a build, so we got everything sitting everywhere.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of material that just got delivered. But I'll
So
give you
this
guys
is
a little
one
quick
bay.
walkthrough. So this is one particular bay. It's got 2 garage doors, one on this end. You can't really see it because I got a whole bunch of material that just got dropped off. And then there's
Yep.
another garage at that end section, right? And so kind of have your
You have racks for-
materials.
You have racks built there for your materials and a workbench, I see. Yep, a chop saw.
So we just have some, what are those? Shower stalls and refrigerators that just got dropped off up at the front.
Yep,
Let's see what we got over here.
yeah,
Just
your
some
shelves
stuff.
and your workbench. Yep.
Some workbench area.
Can you get those rolling scaffolds on either side of this, in this bay
Yes.
here?
Yes.
I mean, we got to go in and out of the garage door sometimes.
To get them around? Okay. All right, and this is your second bay that you have, where you have
Yeah.
another build going on?
Yeah, and then I was in the tiny house out here earlier.
Yeah, we have enough builds going on. That's what you're asking.
So this is the house I was inside earlier when I was talking to
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah,
And then this is one house that's in framing right now.
yep.
I think the ridge beam just got delivered today for this.
So your sidewalls, how tall are your sidewalls?
So 84 and a half are what our studs are at. And if you we build a little different than some people. We build the whole main level at that height. Now that does change per roof pitch and floor
Right.
plan. And then if you see down here, these dormer walls is what we call them. Turn the camera sideways.
Yeah,
We build these, you can back up a little bit, but anyways, we build these separately. So what happens is you end up with 2 top plates at 84 inches, and then you
Yep.
end up with another 2 top plates at that 11-foot mark,
right.
approximately.
Okay,
Not quite
Okay.
11, but it's like 10 foot 1 or 10 foot 2.
right, right.
These are
I
just the
see you're
sidewalls.
building headers across your wheel wells. Are they non-structural wheel wells?
No, they are structural. They're just crooked. They're not crooked. They
Okay.
just got bows in them, and it's irritating. So for me, the only reason we're floating that 2x4 across there instead of a 2x8 is because I don't need them there.
Right.
The structural fender.
Yeah, it's a structural fender, but I'm doing it because we need to float where the fender itself has got a little bit of a dip.
Right.
Or basically where the gusset is welded on, it got hot and it pushed up a little bit. So it's just some
Okay.
imperfections.
Right.
Austin's a perfectionist.
Well,
Yeah,
I
do you
wouldn't-
flash that, or how do you keep the water from going?
liquid flashing? Let me show you.
That's good to know, guys. Pay attention right here.
This stuff right here is probably the best stuff on the planet. Here, turn the camera this way, baby. Or Tracy. It's Zip System. I use Zip System for everything. I use Zip Tape, Zip Liquid flashing, and I use Zip Board. So around the fenders, show back over here. Not only do we hit it here, we sheet it, and then we hit it again, but we span it out about this far, all the way around. So
And that's a
it
liquid?
is-
That's not a tape?
It's liquid. It's better than tape because tape can pill. And I love Zip Tape.
We call Austin the Zip King. Like, dude, he
They- They came to my shop and told me I tape too much. So, because their warranty, if you do it right, their Zip System, if you do it correctly, it could sit outside for 6 months and be covered under their warranty for
Right.
swelling, mold, mildew. So long story short, the Zip flashing, it's liquid, so it actually fits in all the crevices,
I'm gonna show
right?
them the tape.
No, they know.
Is
the
it
tape.
put on with a caulking gun, or how do you put the liquid
Yeah,
on?
it's a sausage tube.
Here's the zip tape. I buy it by the case.
Right? Yep, yep, and you roll it on. Yep, I've seen that before. I've never seen the liquid though. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so Austin, like we tease him, but we call him the Zip King.
So basically it's a sausage tube that goes into an electric caulking gun.
Right.
And then you cut the tip and it comes out liquid. You know, you can mold it. You can fill the cracks and crevices, get into those nooks and crannies where tape can't get. And instead of, because what I used to do was I used to silicone, tape, and then silicone. This by far, I mean, it takes about a day or two to harden up and to completely dry into like a rubber membrane. But it's flexible. You know what I mean?
It's really good stuff,
It's
guys.
the best thing to use around the fenders, period.
Do they have a tip that will make it wider, or what, does it come out in just a little thing and you have
No,
to
it's-
use a
come
cutting knife
here,
to
let me show
flatten
you.
it out?
You're like talking his language. This is the stuff that Austin geeks out on.
So you just buy these tips. You buy these tips. They come in like 10 packs
Yeah,
And then you
yeah,
cut it.
okay,
at whatever angle you want.
yeah, yeah, okay,
I usually cut it at about I don't know, anywhere from a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch hole at an angle. Because again, I leave when I do my zip around the fenders, I usually leave a 1/4 inch gap on purpose. One, for I don't want creaking and all that kind of stuff going on. But two, I want to get this liquid material inside there as well as on the material itself.
got it,
So
got it.
yeah.
So does that go on before or after your zip panel?
this goes on after the zip.
Okay,
Yeah.
Step
So
around the
here's the
feathers.
deal. If there is like a slight baby gap from a crown, like this header, right? Just as an example. If this has a crown in it and I do see a slight gap, yeah, I'll come. Right now, there's liquid nail underneath there. I don't know if you can see the liquid nail.
yes,
Come up. Right
Yeah, I
there.
see
That's
it.
liquid nail. So there's liquid nail all the way underneath there. That's what's in addition bonding this to there.
right,
One time I took a forklift and I tried to pop off one of these 2x4s on the side that was liquid nail and the entire trailer lifted up. So that stuff's very powerful stuff. If used correctly, right? But in addition to that, if there is a crown in here, I will come through and hit it with liquid flashing. But typically the average installation is zip the house, sheet it, come back through, leave your 1/4 inch gap around the fender, come back through and fill it. And I mean, you keep squeezing it in there until it oozes out. And then we run it up the wall about a good 7-8 inches all the way around the fender. So if water were to ever even touch it, it'd have to climb up 8 inches before it touched the zip. And the zip could sit outside in the weather for 6 months. So this is a very fantastic product. Long-term longevity on this stuff.
Again, why we call Austin the Zip King.
It's a
yeah,
great
no,
product.
that's good information. That's good to know. That's good to know. Well,
Okay,
guys, we're,
any other questions for the expert
that's
here, Mr. Baker?
that's what I was gonna say. Anybody got any questions before we kind of wrap this up? Raise your hand or put it in the chat, either one.
There's a lot to talk about. I mean, we pre-drill all our holes for electrical at a certain height. And that certain height is a set number everybody knows. So that way, when it comes to installing wall boards or siding, we call it the no zone.
Open up this box, show them this.
That way you don't hit any wires. Now, these are a little overkill. You can get these in 8 inches.
That's Mr. Baker, overkill.
You can get them at 8 inches. I get them in 11 inches because you need them on certain spots. So if I'm going to put them in a couple of spots, I'm going to put them everywhere.
Those are Simpson strong ties, you guys.
Yeah.
And that's part of the hardware that you need to attach your framing
Yeah.
to the trailer per code.
So we bolt down low and then we use H clips up high. Every rafter, not every other rafter, every rafter. And depending on the build and how big we get, we'll even use lags. We'll lag into the rafters from from your top plate up into the rafter, as
Right.
well as use H clips.
Cool.
Just depends on the
How
size.
often are your anchor bolts on there? How far apart are they on the
Uh,
trailer?
It's supposed to be within like 4 to.
feet.
Huh?
It's within 4 feet, but
Yeah,
usually you're overkill because you also put them around doors and stuff.
Well, no, I try. So here's the rule. So you think about take a 24-foot trailer with a 10-foot fender, and you know what I mean. The math itself forces you to do what you do. So you basically can put one here, right at the fender, and then you put one right here at the back wall, and you're left with approximately, you're a little over 4 feet.
Okay. How
What's
about
your
on the
max
gable
span?
walls? Do you put any on the gable walls?
This back one that's holding is holding the gable walls.
Yeah, okay. So just on
So the
8
way
feet
I do my
apart.
yes, yeah. Well, because there's a door there.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
So on this specific model, I've got a door right here, and this specific trailer, unfortunately, they run this flange. So the way this flange works is it doesn't go across the backside.
Right.
So in
Right.
order to get this to bolt down, I've already got to pack out this with some studs to pass this tail light in order to
Right.
get my bolt clear right here.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
That might need to be something that gets, talked about with the trailer, manufacturer in regards to creating a spot on that front and back wall. If
Yeah.
you're trying to get a hole down in the middle.
Yep. Yep. Right. Something to be talking about. Yeah. We like to see
Yeah.
them every 4 feet, anchor bolts every 4 feet. And we use either those types of hold downs that you have, or we use SP1s and SP2s on top and bottom plate, and then H2.5s on the rafters, on every rafter.
Yeah, that's what we
how-
use on our. That's what we use on all our rafters. We do every rafter, even where
Yeah.
it meets the ridge. We even put them there as well.
Yep. Yep. Good deal. Good deal. Well, guys, it's been
This
real.
thing could go through a hurricane and stay together.
Right. Yeah, that's the idea. Hurricane, tornado, or earthquake, or snow load. We've got to pay attention to all of it.
All of it, and wind.
Yep.
All righty.
Well, thank you,
Anything
Austin.
else, Robin?
I don't know. Let me check with Leanne. Do we have any questions that we need to deal with, Leanne, or can we kind of
I
wrap
don't
it up
see any
here?
questions. Just a comment. Thank you for sharing your experience, shop and builds with us. Lots of great information. We appreciate you guys
You're
taking so
welcome.
much time to spend with us and show us your incredible building. You guys are awesome.
You
know,
guys are
you're
so welcome. I'm
All
glad
right.
we
Well,
were able to help out.
Leanne, I'm going to turn it back over to you to wrap us up then.
That makes me giggle when you say that. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Tracy and Austin, for all the great info and tips. We are having a Tiny Talks tomorrow night, and we'll have Justin Fair will be our speaker, and he is gonna chat with us about how tiny houses can help impoverished communities. So that will be interesting, but hope you guys have a great night, a good Monday evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again, Tracy.
Yes,
Really
and
appreciate
Wednesday
it.
is Wednesday. We will not be having our meeting on Wednesday
Right.
before and after Christmas. Just to let you guys know.
Yep. All right.
right.
Well, if there's no other questions or comments or anything, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks again, guys. We
Bye.
appreciate it.